The thing that makes data so exciting to me and to Verve is really how we can use data to better understand who consumers are in the real world. And for Verve, as a mobile marketing platform, the thing that we find most exciting is the mobile device ID, and to observe the patterns of movement that people have in the real world and see where they go in their normal day in and day out lives, so we can better understand who they are and bridge, using the mobile device, bridge their physical and digital worlds to deliver the most relevant advertising possible to them. So that we're taking a combination of what they buy and where they go to understand what would be most relevant and deliver on that promise of only relevant advertising and removing clutter. The biggest surprise I've seen in data is probably less a surprise than it really is something that I just think we need to be monitoring. And to me, it is the increased coverage and conversation around the regulatory and legislative landscape concerning the ethical and responsible use of consumer data. I'm less surprised to see the increase in coverage, and yet I still think it's important for us as an industry to monitor ongoing developments and frankly contribute to ongoing developments in a healthy way, because it's really important to be thinking about, and this is probably the surprise part of what I think we're seeing in data, are we in fact protecting and empowering consumers, and are they protected and empowered today, greater today than they were 5 years ago? And I'm not so sure that the regulatory and legislative effects have accomplished that objective, and so it's important for us to keep it not only top of mind and top of tongue and keep it in the narrative and the conversation, yet to be thinking about what consumers expect for the responsible and ethical use of their data, so we can in fact deliver these more relevant ad experiences for them. One of the most important issues that we at Verve are excited for the IAB to attack would be the topic around identity management. And in the context of a world that is changing with consumers and concerns they have about data privacy and concerns about data security, which is really a very different topic than the privacy topic, yet consumers also really do want the content that they see to be far more relevant and far more to pertain to them in their real lives. And so there's a delicate balance that we have to think about, and one of the things that becomes interesting is identity. And which data do you need to create enough understanding around identity that you can deliver on that promise of relevance and exercise really some restraint on other data that might be available that you don't need as an industry to still deliver relevance. And so it's important for the IAB and all of its membership to think about that self-regulatory nature of identity management and only use the data necessary to deliver that improved experience for consumers. And when we deliver a better experience for consumers, we should feel comfortable that when they're engaging with the content we serve them, they'll engage with it, it's good for the brands, and it's good for the publishers. And all boats truly do rise together. So if we think about identity management in this new modern context, I think we'll see a lot of improvement on the regulatory and legislative landscape as well. The IAB has always well represented our industry and the entire ecosystem, and it's important for us to participate in the communities and in the working groups to formulate the agenda for our industry and things that we can do as a community to enhance the advertising industry, and things that we really do want to ensure that there are standards and protocols around that improve the supply chain, improve consumer experiences, improve brand effectiveness of their advertising efforts, and to contribute to those topics and to those conversations. It's also really great from an education perspective, not only for our own employees to really stay on top of industry topics and developments through the IAB, but also for Verve to represent to our clients the developments that come out of IAB. So there's an educational element that has been really powerful and important. And then lastly, networking. It's always really helpful to meet with others, understand the opportunities and the challenges that they're experiencing in their business, share some opportunities and challenges that we might be experiencing, and learn from each other, all for the purposes of moving the industry together in a healthy and productive way for all parties.